Hello?
Hey, Obama, sorry about yesterday. You want to continue doing our tier list?
Sure, Donnie. Just let me invite Joe to the call.
For the love of God, please don't.
Too late.
Fuck.
Hey guys, what are we doing today?
Continuing the tier list from yesterday, dumbass. All right, let's get this shit show back on track. Version 1.11 introduced the Woodland Mansions and the Illagers. I gotta say, it's a solid B for me.
B? Really, Donald? I think version 1.11 deserves an A. The Woodland Mansions added a sense of adventure to the game, and the Illagers gave us some new enemies to fight. It was a step in the right direction.
Adventure? More like a waste of time? I'd rather build my own mansion than roam around some stupid generated structure.
You know, I once built a mansion in Minecraft that had a beautiful garden with flowers and everything.
Joe, nobody gives a flying fuck about your virtual mansion. Stick to pressing buttons in the Oval Office.
At least I didn't get impeached twice.
Shut the fuck up, Sleepy Joe. Let's focus on the topic at hand. Version 1.11 was a B, and that's final.
I still think it deserves an A, but I can compromise and give it a B.
Yeah, I agree. B sounds good to me.
All right, fine. We'll give it a B. Moving on to version 1.12. This update gave us some new blocks and items like concrete and parrots, which were pretty underwhelming if you ask me. I'm giving it a C.
Hold on, Donald. I think version 1.12 deserves a higher rating than that. The concrete blocks may seem small, but they gave builders a whole new range of colors to work with. And let's not forget about the other features, which included the recipe book and advancement system.
Recipe book and advancement system, who gives a shit about those? Concrete and parrots were the only things worth mentioning, and they were still pretty mid. It's a C. End of story.
You know, I once had a pet parrot. His name was Charlie, and he could say Joe Biden is the best president ever in 6 different languages.
Yeah, and I bet Charlie was the only one who believed that bullshit. Look, Joe, I don't care about your stupid parrot. Version 1.12 was a C, and that's final.
I have to disagree, Donald. I think version 1.12 deserves a B. The new blocks and items were cool, and the advancement system gave players something to work towards.
Who cares about having more colors? It's a C, and that's final.
I think I have to side with Barack on this one. Version 1.12 deserves a B. The advancement system added a new layer of challenge to the game, and the new blocks and items gave builders more creative opportunities.
All right, fine, we'll give it a B. But just because I'm feeling generous today. Moving on to version 1.13, the aquatic update. Now, this is what I'm talking about. New ocean biomes, underwater ruins, and the trident weapon. It's an easy S for me.
I couldn't agree more, Donald. Version 1.13 was a fantastic update. It introduced so many new features that completely transformed the underwater gameplay experience. Definitely an S.
I like the turtles. I think they're really cute.
Shut your fucking mouth, Joe. Nobody gives a shit.
I'm the President Trump. If you don't shut the fuck up, I'll have you impeached a 3rd time.
Do your worst, bitch.
All right, let's focus on the task at hand. We all agree that version 1.13 was an S, right?
Yeah, it was an easy S. Next up, version 1.14, the Village and Pillage update. This one introduced new villagers, pillagers, and raids. Plus, it added a bunch of new blocks like scaffolding and campfires. Definitely an S for me.
I have to agree with you, Donald. Version 1.14 was another fantastic update. The new features added more depth to the game's survival aspect, and the new blocks gave builders more creative options. Also, it changed most of the textures in the game and made them look nicer and more modern. Definitely an S.
I agree with you guys. Version 1.14 was an S. It added a lot of new content to the game that made it more fun and challenging.
All right, looks like we all agree. Version 1.14 gets an S. Moving on to version 1.15, the Buzzy Bees update. This one added bees, honey blocks, and a few other minor features. I'm giving it a C.
I suppose that's fair. But I think version 1.15 deserves a bit more credit than that. The bees added a cute and interactive element to the game, and the honey blocks had some interesting properties that players could use in their builds. I would give it a B.
I agree with Barack. Version 1.15 deserves a B. The bees were a nice addition to the game, and the honey blocks added some interesting mechanics.
You got to be fucking kidding me. A B for bees and honey? That's ridiculous. It's a C, and that's final.
I understand your perspective, Donald, but I still think it deserves a B. The addition of bees and honey blocks brought a unique charm to the game and provided new gameplay elements.
Nope, it's getting a C.
Okay, let's just move on to 1.1.
Jesus Christ, Joe, did you forget your fucking numbers? It's right there on the fucking screen, you old piece of shit.
Oh, right. Sorry about that. Version 1.16, the Nether update. This one added new biomes, structures, and mobs to the Nether, as well as new blocks like Blackstone and Soul Soil. It's an easy S for me.
Agreed, Joe. Version 1.16 was a huge update that added a lot of depth to the Nether. The new biomes and structures made it feel like a whole new dimension, and the new blocks gave builders even more creative options. Definitely an S.
Yeah, I gotta admit, version 1.16 was pretty good. The Nether needed some love, and this update definitely delivered. It's an S.
Great. Another easy S. Moving on to version 1.17, the Caves and Cliffs Update Part 1. This one added new cave biomes, axolotls, and goats, among other things. But a lot of its promised features got pushed back to Part 2, so I'm giving it a B.
I agree with you, Joe. While version 1.17 did add some interesting new features, it didn't quite live up to the hype, and a lot of the promised features, like the new cave generation, got pushed back to Part 2. A solid B.
I was expecting more from this update. The new cave biomes were cool, but it felt like there wasn't much else. And the fact that a lot of its promised features got pushed back is a bummer. I'm also giving it a B.
Looks like we all agree on version 1.17. A B it is. Moving on to version 1.18, the Caves and Cliffs Update Part 2. This one added new mountains and the big ass caves. I think it deserves an A.
What the fuck, Obama, big ass caves? Pause.
Sorry, Donald, I meant to say large caves. Anyway, I think version 1.18 deserves an A. The new mountains and caves added a lot of variety to the game's terrain generation. And the new features, like being able to dig down to Y-64, were pretty cool as well.
Why the fuck are you rating it so low? 1.18's a fucking S if I've ever seen one. You know how fucking long people have been asking for new caves?
I see your point, Donald. But I think an A is still a strong rating for version 1.18. While the new caves and mountains were definitely a highlight, there were a few bugs and issues that prevented it from being a perfect update.
Fine, I'll reluctantly agree to an A. But you to have zero taste, it's not fucking funny.
Let's not get too worked up, gentlemen. We're almost done. Version 1.19, the Wild Update. This one added new mobs like the frog and the long-awaited warden, as well as new features like the deep, dark biome. I think it deserves an A.
I agree with you, Joe. Version 1.19 was another solid update that added some interesting new mobs and features. The deep, dark biome in particular was a welcome addition that added a new layer of challenge and mystery to the game. An A for me as well.
Normally, I'd give an update with as much features as this one an S. But the Warden and Deep Dark were supposed to be added 2 updates earlier, so I'm going to go ahead and downgrade my rating for an S to an A.
That seems like a fair rating, Donald. Version 1.19 definitely had a lot of content, but the delayed features did detract from it a bit. An A it is. All right, last but not least, version 1.20, the Trails and Tales update. This one added camels, archaeology, armor trims, and much more. What are your thoughts?
I like giving out S's, you know me, but there are 2 big things preventing me from giving this update any higher than an A. 1, archaeology was supposed to be added 3 updates earlier in 1.17, but again it was delayed. And 2, they completely fucked up the difficulty of obtaining netherite gear.
I love camels.
Obama loves them a lot more than you do, Joe. I'm sure he saw plenty while he was in Yemen.
Hey, fuck you, Donald.
You wish you could.
I think version 1.20 deserves an A. While there were some issues with the implementation of certain features like archaeology and netherite gear, overall it was a solid update that added a lot of new content to the game. An A is fair.
Jesus Christ, Joe, you are stuttering like hell, damn. But I guess I can't argue with A. Is that our final rating?
Yes, it looks like we all agree on an A for version 1.20. And with that, our Minecraft update tier list is complete. Thanks for your input, gentlemen.
All right, I'm going to go out with Melania.
Hey, Barack, you want to come with me to Dairy Queen?
Sure, Joe. I could use a blizzard right about now. Let's go grab some ice cream.